Hey everybody, Bones here, Bones Garage, just bringing you update what's going on at the garage. So, 1965 VW Buggy, we're coming along great on this car. Got a lot of the wiring done. You can see we have the headlights all wired up. We have most of the wiring run for the marker lights up to the front. We have a lot of the behind the dash wiring pretty much done. We're going to wire loom all that later. We also have the wiring for the fuse block mostly done and then all going to where they need to go. We then have, you can see, all of our grommets in place and wire loomed, and our P-clips all holding all the wire loom, or the wiring where it needs to be. We still have more to do though. We have a ground right here. This is going to be our main ground for behind the dash and forward. And what we do is we run a bolt right through, then we take a cable and run the cable down, and then we will put a nutsert in there, and then we will mount this right to the pan of the chassis of the car. So when you have your battery in, the battery actually, the ground cable goes right to the pan of the car. So this whole bottom section of the car all the way through is now one big ground. So that will get grounded there. This now runs, or here it is, this now runs across, goes all the way out, and is grounded down here, which is now going to ground all of our dashboard stuff and ground our dashboard, because they had no ground for this dashboard. That's why most of the lights and gauges didn't work for the dashboard, or they work sporadically. So we're getting all of that fixed. We took apart the headlight switch and cleaned it and greased it all up, because I prefer the original stuff over the aftermarket or repopped stuff. The repop just isn't nearly as good as the original. Same thing with the wiper switch. So, or this one is the ignition switch. Yeah, ignition switch. We did the same exact thing. Took it all apart, cleaned it up, re-greased it, put it back together, boom, done. Everything is nice now in there. We have our diodes for our turn signals in, so this way we don't get feedback into the system from the turn signals. Then we went ahead and ran all of our rear wiring harness through the conduit. If you look under here, there it is. There's the conduit. So we run this whole harness from the front all the way through right out to there, where it comes out. Whoops, there it is. And then this will be for our motor, turn signal lights, all of that kind of stuff. So we're coming along really nice with the wiring on this car. It's really starting to look very good. I'm really happy. It's so nice to see things progressing like this. I love doing all this kind of stuff. I love getting weird projects in, and this is a weird project. So it's really cool. And again, there's the motor. We're going to be rebuilding that. We're waiting for all the parts to come in. We're getting brand new heads for it, new jugs, new pistons, rings. We're getting also new push rod tubes, seals, push rods, all of that to the outside of the motor. We're going to get a rebuild for the inside. If we see anything that we don't like, we will pull the case apart and rebuild the inside of the motor, but hopefully we don't have to. We'll see once we get everything off. Well, again, there's a limited budget we have on this, so we have to be careful. We have a lot to do with very little money. So we have to be very careful what we're doing. We also have a brand new alternator coming with an internal regulator, so this way we can get rid of the external regulator. It's also going to produce a few more volts. because he does want to put a nice stereo in here. And, to run a stereo, you need amperage. And that's why we have a new alternator coming. It puts out more voltage, more amperage, 12 volts, more amperage. So that's why we have a new one of those coming. So we have a lot of things going on with this car. We're going to, once we get finished with all the wiring and getting it run to where it needs to go, except for the stuff for the motor, because we don't have the motor in yet, so we can't cut the wires to size. We're going to start getting all of the brakes and suspension system done on this. So, yeah, really cool. I love these things. I love Volkswagens. Volkswagens are one of those weird things that I just like. I've always loved Volkswagens. Alrighty, guys, have fun. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.